Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One, and I am back with another video. You know what you got to do: rate, comment, subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so it'll let you know when my next video or live stream goes down. Hit the like button, okay? And follow me on Twitter. I don't tweet as much, but when I do tweet, it's thoughtful, it's informational. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's get in today's live stream. I'm not gonna be on here much. I'm not gonna be on here too long. Your boy gotta work. Your boy's mad busy. Your boy's gotta make that dollar. Okay. So this is purely speculations. Okay. And I really don't have a lot of information to prove this theory. So I want to go ahead and say that real fast, real quick, that this is only speculation, but do not be surprised. And a lot of things have to transpire for this to happen. One, if he's fully healthy, if he's close to being healthy. Not fully healthy, but close to being healthy. Two, if ownership would allow such of a trade to transpire, such a trade to happen, Jim Irsay. And three, how beneficial this will be for both parties. And when I mean by both parties, both teams. And do not be surprised if all these things are check marked and everything's ready, set, go. Do not be surprised to hear Andrew Luck's name in possible trade scenarios at the end of this football season. And it really do depends on how desperate the Colts are. Okay? If everything falls in line as far as an unsuccessful season, if they get the top pick in the draft, if all of that falls through, if Andrew Luck is close to being healthy, if Andrew Luck is willing to play again, and if Jim Irsay is willing to look for a trade partner to get from under Andrew Luck's contract, do not be surprised if Andrew Luck's name is surrounded around the Dallas Cowboys. Now, and this is pure speculation, but here's my theory. Here's my aluminum tinfoil hat. Because all of this, when you read the story about Andrew Luck retiring, it all sounds very familiar. It sounds familiar when Peyton Manning was thinking about retiring. Okay? It sounds like that. And remember when he retired, and then you start hearing when you start hearing things like Peyton Manning may go to the Titans, be a quarterback for the Titans. The Titans were willing to give everything under the sun to have Peyton Manning their quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Did not fall through. Ultimately, he went to the Denver Broncos, and the rest, they say, was history. But do not be surprised. And this Andrew Luck news is similar to that news of Peyton Manning. Not to say that Andrew Luck is, lying, deceiving us. I really do feel like he's really broken down. His body is broken down. He really don't want to do this over and over again. Surgery, rehabilitation, and getting back into football shape. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to go through all that stuff again. But if everything works, if everything plays into the advantage of Andrew Luck, where he has a pain-free football season, and he starts to feel close to healthy, do not be surprised to see you start hearing rumbles and rumors of him going to Dallas. Now, Dallas is trying to sign Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. All right, and by the looks of things, it's going to cost them a lot of money. So much money that the possibility of them the possibility of them signing the other players, such like on the defensive end, because they have drafted very, very well, and these players have proven their worth to the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys don't want to give up on these defensive players. Plus, they already got the offensive line paid for. They done spent like $45 million on the offensive line. They don't want to jeopardize all of that to overpay for Dak Prescott, overpay for Ezekiel Elliott. They do not want to create the market for running backs, okay? Ezekiel Elliott wants to be the highest paid running back in NFL history. And Dak Prescott has pretty much laughed at $30 million. All right? Dak Prescott is a great system quarterback, but he's not worth, because if you don't have pieces around him, he's a below average quarterback. Okay, so that's the whole reason why they traded for Amari Cooper. He needed a number one. You saw when he did not have a number one, how it was difficult for him. How it was difficult for him to have a very successful season, and he had a pretty decent season. But Dak Prescott, I really do like him. Dak Prescott is, I would love for him to be in the future plans of the Dallas Cowboys, but it's going to cost Dallas a lot of money. And I feel like if they get the rights to Andrew Luck, if Andrew Luck agrees to it, of course, he will have to probably negotiate his contract somewhat, and Dallas is looking at it from the standpoint of, we don't mind giving Andrew Luck $30 million, because if we pay Andrew Luck $30 million, the weapons that we have at the disposal will be very beneficial for Andrew Luck, okay? And if they have to trade Ezekiel Elliott or just let him walk, they can do that. Okay, you don't need 1,000-yard running back, 1,000-yard year running back to have a successful team. Not in this current climate of the NFL, where passing is more with the weapons that Prescott has than Dak Prescott. Okay, and it'll be very beneficial for the Dallas Cowboys to do this. Now, you also heard rumors and rumblings that there's a possibility where the Giants may want to trade for Andrew Luck, and they're going to give up Eli Manning. I really don't see that in the horizon, because I feel like the Colts are looking for the future, and the quarterbacks that they have under their roster, all this hinges on if he has a successful season this year. If they can build on top of the quarterback that they have on the Indianapolis Colts roster, then none of this stuff is what I'm saying that I've done said for the past 8 minutes is just not going to happen. But if he stumbles, if he struggles, if they find out that there's flaws in him, then they're going to try to go other opportunities. Now, as far as Colin Kaepernick going to the Indianapolis Colts, I don't see that happening either. Okay, so this could be a possibility. I'm telling you, if all the things play the way I said it, the possibility that they could play, when I said in the beginning of the video, if all that is laid down, that this scenario is a possibility. Once again, I'm going to say this again. This is purely speculation. I do not have any type of raw data that can prove otherwise. I don't have any concrete evidence to prove otherwise. But I'm telling you guys, if everything falls in the pattern, and if Andrew Luck really wants to play football again after being out of football for a year, if he's somewhat healthy, and if Jim Irsay, obviously, if he wants to give Andrew Luck his blessings by moving on, I think he would do so. That's the only owner I know in NFL that will do so, because he did that with Peyton Manning. Okay, so Jim Irsay, at the end of the day, he's an honorable guy to his players, and he's friends with Jerry Jones. Now, another thing a lot of people don't understand that Jason Witten is friends with Andrew Luck. They communicate back and forth, okay? And Andrew Luck was mulling this retirement thing to Jason Witten. And he was basically trying to seek out information because Jason Witten retired from the Dallas Cowboys, went into broadcast, and when that didn't work out for him, he went back to football. So Jason Witten is friends with Andrew Luck, and I feel like Andrew Luck was picking Jason Witten's brain about the benefits of being out of football for a year. Plus, Andrew Luck has got the experience of the pattern of Peyton Manning when he left. Okay, so all of this is a possibility. Now, in order for this possibility to happen, a lot of things have to play in factor. And if one of those things do not play in factor, if Andrew Luck still feel like he still want to be retired, then none of this is going to happen. If Andrew Luck wants to play football again, but Jim Irsay is playing hardball trying to get him back to the Colts, then it ain't going to happen. Okay, but I do feel like it will happen if the Colts get something in return, and the Colts are willing to pay Dak Prescott 30 plus or 30. Now, there's been rumors that Dak Prescott wants $40 million a year. Okay, those are rumors I can't confirm nor deny, but you have been hearing them on the message boards and the community pages that he wants more than $30 million, and that's the sticking point. Plus, on top of that, Ezekiel Elliott wants to be the highest paid running back. So if you put all your money into those two players, you're not going to have enough money to play the other players that you grown a liking to, particularly on the defensive side. You got your defense is good. Your offensive line is still solid. Okay, you still have targets for a quarterback to utilize. And I feel like Andrew Luck, if you put Andrew Luck in that particular offense, they're going to flourish. Okay, so and who knows, by getting Andrew Luck, you might get Ezekiel Elliott to say, well, let me hold off on all this, okay? Because playing next to Andrew Luck. But like I said, this is a year from now. But anything can happen from now to the end of the NFL football season. They could, if you hear breaking news that Dak Prescott signed a 1-year contract, then that's one of the tea leaves that would suggest to you that they're looking elsewhere. They're just going to play this 1 year out, and then they're going to see what happens beyond that. They may be interested in signing Dak Prescott to a longer contract after the 1 year contract. But if they get the opportunity to get Andrew Luck, and if Andrew Luck is willing to go back to football, that's one of the trade pieces that they could put in front of Jim Irsay. They may have an issue with paying Dak Prescott a lot of money, but Jim Irsay is not going to have an issue with playing Dak Prescott with a lot of money, because that name will put butts in the seats. Okay, and Dak Prescott is a decent quarterback where he's going to get you wins. Okay, so do not be surprised if all this falls down. Well, that's all I got for today, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Hit me up. Hit the notification bell. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces, guys. Deuces.